It is episode 7. Let me remind you of 10.
Very
Limited edition,
important.
limited edition run.
In addition, what do we call it? H1, half one. Where are we now? Yeah, because we're in Q1, aren't we? So we have
Yeah.
to run it into half one, half year one.
We got over the mid-season finale and into the back end of the season. I wonder what's going to happen. Episode 10. It's going to be all over the place.
It's going to be a banger.
Let's see. Quick question, Matt. What have you done there? Boy.
Oh, spanked myself up. Didn't know how good one.
So
In a
last,
little bit of pain.
yeah,
Mm.
you don't look comfy. You're chewing on some morphine.
Well, that's another story for another day. But yeah, they did try and give me some oxycodone in the hospital, a stealth attack of oxycodone. He's like, oh, yeah, take this before you go to bed. I was like, what's that? He's like, oh, yeah, small, but it's strong or something. I was like, yeah, whatever. Took it and I was like, that's good. The next day, the dude come in and said, oh, here's, have you had this painkiller before? And I was like, don't know. And he said, well, it's still in the packet, so you can look up what it is if you want. And I was like, this looks familiar, but it definitely didn't come in a packet yesterday. And yeah, oxycodone. And the geezer's just given it to me on the first day. And then the next day, the guy's like, do you want to see what it is? Yes. And you shouldn't really play with those. That's pretty serious. Because I'd said I don't want any, not none at all, but like I don't need anything super heavy.
Hmm.
Now I could do with something heavy because, yeah, that hurts. So yeah, crashed the bike. Basically, if you rewind back to that podcast we did, and there's like the thumbnail is me going, I did that again.
Yeah. So yeah, let me if anybody wants to go back and watch episode 6 where we talked about how to come back from pretty serious injuries, and Matt
We're
talked through
about to get full live.
all of his injuries, and we cursed it, didn't we, dude?
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah, that
were
was a bit of a mess that day, to be honest. There was some cursed stuff going on, and you shouldn't play with those things. Don't play with fast bikes.
what
Get hurt.
today, the podcast, we were going to talk about our training routines each. Yours has gone slightly out the window just because you have had a
Yeah,
big crash.
I would say that's probably my best training program, but we could save that for another day, I think.
Cool. Okay.
Very effective. Yeah.
So what are we gonna do?
I would like to hear about your CrossFit Open experience as you shot me a little message the other day, and which I didn't see because I was upside down in the cranking house. And I only saw it yesterday, and I was like, "Whoa!" He sent me a message saying, "Yeah, I've got 98th, was it?
Uh, 80 something. So yeah, so
You
I've
got
done
80 in the end." 'Cause I think in the message it was 90 something.
well. So it's percentiles. So the higher the percentile, the better your
Right.
performance. So if you're
Hmm.
99th, you're in the top 1% of fit
Hmm.
people. And yeah, so I companion videos for each of the open workouts I've done will be available over the period of the next 7 to 12 years as I manage to edit them. So I'll link them here and people can go and check them
Ah,
out.
okay. Yeah.
So
89th percentile, you said.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I was 89th percentile, and that was submitted the last workout. What happens is when you submit, unless you're the very last person to submit, everybody else submits, or other people submit after you, so you're pretty likely to just go down. Because if you haven't submitted a workout, you're like bottom of the pile.
Hmm.
So as soon as you submit yours, if you've beaten people, you'll go up, and then everybody else from there, you either stay the same if nobody else beats you, or you just slowly slide down, which is my one of my favorite pastimes in CrossFit Open season and online qualifiers, just watching yourself slowly slide down the ratings.
Because some
So
people they don't sandbag, but they don't submit early to see what they need to do, and but then you end up with
yeah,
all of the big hitters doing that. Mm.
yeah, basically, if you go too early, so you might do the workout, but you might choose not to submit your score because yeah, if you're actually in amongst it, then if you show your hands, then people will go, okay, well, I need to go a bit faster to beat this dude. It's like being in competition in a running race. If you see someone's going faster than you, you know you need to go faster. But if you're just racing in isolation, you kind of
Mm.
do what you think you should do. So having that element, people like you say, like sandbagging in Formula One, people might turn the power down and not show their full hand. But yeah, it does happen. So yeah, I had my best ever CrossFit Open results this year.
Sick. What
Um,
was the number? What was, so it's in percentile, but what does that mean in terms of people in your category and actual numbers?
so I can tell you numbers. I mean, it's in thousandths, but
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I
out
thought
of
it would be.
yeah, out of everybody in the world, so this is every young buck and every OG, everybody in the world, I came 26,474th out of 120,195. So that's 77th percentile. So I'm one of the top 23% fittest people, fittest men, sorry, that doesn't include women, fittest men who did the CrossFit Open. So it sounds more impressive when you say it in percentages, I think, than it does in numbers. In terms of
Well, not
Mike,
really, because there's like a billion, 8 billion people in the world or something, isn't there? So and you think you got to be in it to win it in the first place. I always like to think
yeah,
that.
I beat
So
everybody
yeah,
who
you're
didn't
super fit on the
turn up.
couch, just chilling there. Beat me.
So then it kind of then you can whittle it down to your age group. So I'm in the 40 to 44 category, which means that you can rank yourself against those people in your age group rather than in the worldwide one. I'm up against like 18-year-olds and all those kind of guys. So this one between men 40 to 44, I was 3,179th out of 20,319 people. So that
In the
is
world.
in the world top 16% who compete in that. I'm pretty happy with
Super.
that. Um, and then it breaks it down like United Kingdom. Out of everybody, all men in the United Kingdom, I was top 22%. Uh, my age group, top 24%. So the United Kingdom people are less fit than everybody
More,
else in the
no?
world. There's a little
More.
stat.
More. They're more fit, as
So
you'll
I
know.
was top 16% for the world in my age
Yeah.
category, and I was top 14%
Ah,
for
sorry. Okay.
UK. And then it goes to
Super.
Europe. So Europe, slightly fitter in Europe, top 12% of everybody, and top 22% of everybody, top 15% in my age group. Now, slightly frustrating for me is that this year they didn't do quarterfinals. They just did semi-finals too. So to get through to the semi-finals for my age group, I would have had to have been top 2%, which I am not.
Whoosh. And what does that mean in terms of numbers? Because my brain is not really working today.
Mm,
Like top 100 or something like that.
yeah, so for my age group, it would have been in the top 400, and I was
Okay.
3,000th. So there's a couple of dudes shaking a tail a bit faster than
In
me in that
between.
one.
Wriggling along a little bit
Yeah,
faster. Is that a goal? I'm going to try and get there, or maybe just.
semi-finals. That would be cool. That would be really cool because you semi-finals is where M got to in the CrossFit
Mm.
Games when she went and competed in live person competition. So for me to get the result to have qualified for quarterfinals, if they'd have put that in, it's the top 25% of people, I want to say, used to go through to quarterfinals. They didn't do it this year. I've mentioned that about 200 times, but I can't change it. But yeah,
Just mention it again.
that's
Mention it again.
top 25% people would have gone through to quarterfinals if they'd put them on this year and they didn't. Closest I got,
Hashtag, what's that dude's name? Hashtag Dave Castro.
yeah,
Is he still in?
Castro
Is
pulled
it up to
out.
him?
I don't know. It's up to, um, it's not up to me, that's for sure.
Put it in the comments if we should have done quarterfinals and then Will
Yeah,
can go.
quarterfinal, yeah.
Would you have been in the quarterfinals then? Yes. By
Yes.
quite some distance.
Yeah, I would have been.
And what would that have meant? You would have then done an online another round or?
Yeah, and they normally do another 5 workouts across quite a short period of time. So it's like rather than doing one a week for 3 weeks,
Mm.
you then like have five to submit in a handful of days, up to a week, something like that, in an
Mm.
affiliate, videoed, all that kind of stuff. So that would have been the next
Okay.
stage for that. I think the semi-finals are in affiliates, videoed now. So I think there's a couple of people from the gym that I go to would make it. I don't think M did it this year. I think Phil
No.
was pretty much there because he's now in Masters, so
Okay.
he would get it. But yeah, last year when they did do them, I missed out by 3%. I was top 28% last year, and needed to be top 25 to get through.
So you've gone miles past that then this
Hmm.
time. Is the total number of competitors bigger this year then?
I
Or
think a lot smaller,
okay,
just
that's interesting.
because just because of all the hoo-ha that's been going on with CrossFit this year. So I don't know if you know, but anybody who's
A little bit.
into that, basically there was there was a tragedy involving Lazar Dukic, who lost his life in the swim event on day one. And there's a lot of uproar about how that was handled, the safety concerns of the athletes, people pulled out, lots of kind of questionable decisions from Mr. Castro and other people of that ilk. So it's basically lost a lot of its headline competitors, and now I'm kind of not doing
Oh.
CrossFit, and they're doing
Mhm.
some other organizations events. So yeah, it's definitely lost a lot of traction this year for sure.
Is that like high rocks and things like that, or what are they doing?
Yeah, other promotions as well. I can't remember the names of the exact, but there's like World Fitness Championships or something like
Okay,
that. So
and
there's
like
some,
grid league and all this sort of thing. Same sort of
yeah,
thing, but a bit different.
yeah. So yeah, like
That's the thing.
WWF and WCW, and then all those kind of guys. There's different promotions basically. Yeah, they're doing different things. So CrossFit's always been the jewel in the crown for people, but
Mm.
there's other stuff out there. They're just not as big. So yeah, lots of movement of top level athletes around that, because you know they obviously want to feel safe and do the right thing,
Oh
but
yeah,
also they need to
for
get
sure.
paid because that's their job. So you know that's that.
Yeah. Good. Wow. Enough about the controversy.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit because I was pretty impressed with that too when you shot me that little message. And I was like,
Mm.
oh, I want to know some more about how we got here.
Yeah, yeah.
Do
So,
you have the results from the previous years? Because from I know we've shot messages back and forwards about them in the past, but that feels like quite a step
mhm.
compared to what you've done before. I guess, like you said, last year you were 28th percentile, and then this year you're well up there in,
Yeah.
what do you say, 13th percentile? Something change or?
Well, I think a few things. So I've been doing it since 2020, and the first time I did it scaled, which means that you
Mhm,
do lighter weights, less skilled movements, and I did pretty well in terms of that scaled category. But
mhm.
as soon as anybody does one rep RX of anything, they beat anybody who's done it
Everybody
scaled.
scaled. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So my first year, I was in the bottom 22% of everybody that competed. That was in
Bottom
2020.
22. Okay.
Yeah. And actually, if you
Okay.
compared it to other
Okay. Okay.
scaled
Okay. Yeah.
people, I did actually did
Yeah.
do pretty well. But yeah, so but the actual bottom 22% of people, that was, and I was in the 35 to 39. So I was already masters category doing
Mm.
it. Then COVID hit, 2021, I didn't do it. I think there was an option to do it somehow, but I just wasn't doing it.
Tech stuff
2022,
was on though, wasn't it? Tech stuff was on because we were
yeah,
doing tech stuff, weren't we?
European Championship, another promotion, which I don't think that's gone very well.
No,
Um, yeah, I don't think that's even still a thing. There's some more questionable decisions being made there.
no
Yeah,
comment.
the the next year I did it RX, so instantly one rep of RX beats every scale person, and I got so 67th percentile, so the top 33% of people. So not going to qualify for quarterfinals. But yeah, a step up because I was actually through lockdown. I took home like the RX weight dumbbells and started using
Hmm.
those. And that's when I just made the move from Scale to RX, just through lockdown and COVID. The
Because that was cool
follow,
because the box let people take stuff, didn't they?
yeah, they
Which was
did.
super
Yeah, it
nice.
was good lending. And I got obviously the garage gym stuff at home. And then I bought more stuff, but I didn't have a 22.5
Mm.
kilo dumbbell. So that was really handy. Started practicing with that. The following year, 2023, was my last year in the 35 to 39-year-old category. So I was an old boy in that bracket. And I actually did worse, so 66th percentile. So I was one percentile less fit. Um, that there was a different format for some of the workouts with that one. There was 4 parts. I got absolutely crushed with a weightlifting one at one point because just I'm just not that strong compared to other people. So that really brought my score down. I did kind of my best result there. I was in the top 24% on one of the workouts.
Mm.
So my best result from that year was better than my best result from the previous year, but I just got bottom 45% on a weightlifting one. So that was terrible. And then last year 72nd percentile, so top 28%. And that was kind of my best effort was I was in the top 27% of people. There wasn't a heavy lift one in that one. It's all like a
Mm.
time or a rep thing. So that I think helped me out a bit with that.
That's a
So if
huge
you,
jump to this year, isn't it?
yeah, and then this year, yeah, well, we've gone through the percentiles, but
Mm.
I think that one of the things which really helped me out with this was two of the workouts I'd done okay, but one of the workout I had more than twice as good score as the other two.
Mm.
So I just like in comparison to myself, that one was really heavily
You
weighted in.
smashed it.
Yeah,
Mm.
that
Your
was that was
direction.
like out of all of them, that was my one. And I think that might be something which
What
really
was it? A
helped me.
ski erg marathon?
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't. It was wall walks, rowing, and barbell work. So you did 5 wall walks, 50 cal on the rower, 5 wall walks, 25 deadlifts at 102 kilos, 5 wall walks, 25 cleans at 61 kilos, something like this.
Yeah.
5 wall walks, 25 snatches at 43 kilos, 5 wall walks, and then a 50 cal row. So rowing, I'm decent at. Wall walks, I'm quick at. And whilst I'm not the strongest, I think just, and when it goes, when I actually publish it, you'll be able to see the whole thing. Like I just don't wait around
Mm.
very long on the barbell. It's like I need to keep picking this thing up. So it's just like drop it, let it settle, go again. Drop it, let it settle, go again. And I just got a really good score on that. Like really good.
And I guess they're not crazy weights either, are they? They're like manageable weights that you could continuously smash out like that. 25 deadlifts, if there wasn't a bunch of other stuff around it, you could probably get through that in a couple of sets at the most, couldn't you? So they were like in the ballpark of being able to work quite quickly. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so my approach on that one was I'll just do the deadlifts in fives.
Mm.
And it wasn't so much about managing the weight. For me, it really came down to managing the rest.
Mm.
So if you can allow yourself to not rest,
Hmm.
even 2 seconds every rep, that
Yeah.
adds up
It's
over
another rep, and
75 reps. It's a lot of
yeah.
time. Same with
Yeah.
the wall walks. Like if you just don't feel sorry for yourself and think, I need a little bit of rest before doing the next one, I'm quite good at wall walks. So
Mm.
I just kept going back up, just kept going back up and going back up and going back up, not really taking that time to have a rest, which that's the whole thing with the open. If you can manage your rest, you can just outstrip a lot of people who kind of look at the bar and walk around and walk back away from it and they're fanning about and doing all this other stuff. You just have to
It
keep
doesn't
picking
help
it
you in
up.
the end, does it really? Like that 2 seconds or whatever it is, you're not recovered in 2 seconds, no.
No, unless you're at the point where you think if I don't know if I'm going to make this next rep.
Hmm.
Like whereas the muscle ups in
Mm.
the second one, I was like, if I jump up now, I'm going to miss it. And
Yeah, that's worse.
when you miss a rep, it's double, almost triple as bad because not only do you spend the time doing a rep which you don't get the credit for, you've spent that energy as well, so you're more
Hmm.
tired. Then you have to rest longer
Hmm.
before you then go and try and attempt another one. So it's like twice as bad to attempt one that you think, oh, this is going to be touch and go, than it is just to have a little 5 second rest could save you 25, 30 seconds of an attempt, a foul, and another rest.
Good dude. And do you think, well, you lost quite a lot of weight, but this has been going up and down as I was just thinking about what have you done over the years, but going through those stages, you've been in scaled. So that was a big jump, I guess, in terms of the overall, wasn't it? When you go from scale to RX, because it sounds like even I could try and do an RX. As soon as I can do any weight in RX, even with two broken arms, I jump everybody that's scaled.
Yeah.
So as soon as you're confident enough to do that, you make a step. When did you go from the 35, 39 to 40 to 44 last year?
Yeah, so I'm 41 now, so yeah, it would have been last. So last year would have been my first year in that category, which
Last year in 40.
you've got an
Mm.
advantage at that point because if there's, as much as we hate to say it, the older you get, the harder it is. So a 40-year-old versus a 45-year-old, if you've got the kind of similar training regimes, you'd think that somebody 5 years younger might pip you to the post.
I mean,
Um,
there's so many variables, isn't there, in there? Because
yeah.
just listening to you talk about managing rest, like that's something you have to learn that you
Mhm.
might never learn depending on your personality, isn't it?
Yeah.
Depending on your personality type. If you're just to like, oh, either like I've just got to keep going, I've just got to keep going until you're dead, and
Yeah.
you don't even manage the rest, then you've blown yourself out.
Hmm.
Or if you're a rester, then also you're screwed, aren't you? Whether you're 40 or 20, because I think you see that a lot in
Yeah.
younger guys, don't you? Either way around, they're blowing themselves out or they're not resting at all. So yeah, definitely some things that probably don't just come with training because it's a different thing, isn't it, to just training in a gym where you just have to like knock out a bunch of reps and sets. There's not really any strategy there.
Mm.
But with this, there's a whole sort of mental game, isn't there? And also not being trapped by who's around you and chasing them, which I imagine you also do it. In one of the videos you had, was it Dan
Yeah.
next to you? And then you have to think, okay, is Dan on it today
Yeah.
or not? And like, because he went out hot in that video, that looked like,
Classic
and you
Dan.
did. Yeah, well, that's the thing. And then you've got to know them, haven't you? You've got to understand, okay, that's classic Dan. He's gone out hot. So I'll just chill and do my own thing. And that takes a lot. Like, I'm not good at that sort of thing. Like, if someone's gone out hot, I'm going after it. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's go hot.
Yeah, generally my approach to most workouts is that I don't like to feel terrible in a workout. And I know I will
Mm,
feel terrible if I go at a speed that I can't maintain for the whole thing. So my least favorite types of workouts are intervals because you
mm,
have to push to the prescribed time. Let's say it's you need to do a certain amount of things in 2 minutes, and then you have a minute rest, and then you have to go again in 2 minutes. Like that forces you to do it in a specific time. Whereas if it's a
mm,
workout four time or an AMRAP in 20 minutes, then you pick the pace and you go at your own speed. Like no one's saying right now you need to do this next thing. That's up to you. And what I understand about myself is I will pick a pace that feels, challenging, but I think I'm not really going to tail off too much throughout the whole thing. And that's where I catch a lot of people in class is that they'll shoot off and they'll, bait people into following them. And I'm always like, okay, I'm just going to do my own thing. And then I often catch them and overtake them just because they are then having not just a very bad time in terms of the workout hurts, but also mentally, they're like, this really hurts. Whereas if I can get to a place where, okay, this is what I'm here for. I'm training my body and I need to push to a degree. However, it's a pace that's manageable. Like I'll never just like go too slow. I'll always want to push, but I'll know that I'd rather be able to go that bit faster or not tail off quite as much. So yeah, it's the classic first round. Everyone goes out hot, and then you just reel them in and overtake them.
There's a big difference between getting the work done and just doing yourself in.
Yeah, because who wants to be hanging on by their back flippers and like in a 40-minute workout and you absolutely blow yourself out in the first five
Yeah.
minutes? The rest,
It's a nightmare.
that is a long 35 minutes.
Yeah.
And then that's where you get the people like resting and they'll just be staring at the thing or and even if the next movement is a burpee and they're just crouching or kneeling down, it's like, well, just at least lie down. Like you got to lie down anyway.
Lie down, then lie back up.
Yeah,
Then do that again.
but it's so hard. Like when you're in there and you're thinking, "Oh my God, this is absolutely awful," and you just want to rest. I often think in my head, just go before you want to go, and that then saves 1 or 2 seconds. But yeah, learning that stuff, I would say that's 5 years of experience would have
Hmm.
gone towards what I did. And I also kind of do a little bit of preparation ahead of time in terms of okay, where do I like rough timestamps? Where do I need to be at this time? Especially on that last one, I had a good idea of how long. Okay, it's going to take me 1 minute to do this, and then I'll have 3 minutes here, 1 minute, 3 minutes, 1 minute to make up the 20-minute time cap. So once I had that set out in my mind, it's quite difficult to, unless you got it written down in front of you, it's quite difficult to keep a track of that when you're training because of the old mental fatigue. Trying to do maths at the same time is quite hard. But that can also be a motivator because if you can get ahead of your timestamp, you're like, okay,
Hmm.
this is doable now. When you're behind it, that's rough. But yeah,
Did
keeping
you
ahead.
actually write it down? Did you have that written down on the
I
floor, or how
didn't
did
have it
you?
written down. I knew
Just had a rough idea.
yeah, so I worked it out and put it in the notes of my phone and just had a good idea and I lost track of it. So yeah, I given myself so a minute to do the wall walks and then 3 minutes on row and every barbell. So with a minute on the wall walks in between, everything added up to 20 minutes. So I
Hmm.
knew like getting off the wall in a minute, getting off the first wall walks in 35 seconds or whatever it was.
Hmm.
I
You've
knew I
got
had
it in the
25
bag. Yeah.
seconds in the
25
back.
spare.
And then like,
Hmm.
okay, how does this row feel? Do I need to push on the row? No, I'm going to chill on this row. Like, because you pull, say, 1100 calories, you get off the rower in 2 minutes 30. If you pull 1200 calories, you get off the rower in 2 minutes 20, but you
You're
hurt.
dead.
So
Yeah.
where that 10 seconds, you're then going to sit on the rower, undo my straps, have a drink. And then the guy who's pulled at a comfortable pace has just got off the rower and picked the barbell up. So it's little
And the
things.
next time, yeah, the next time you get on the row, also, you're smashed on.
Oh, that
Once
last
you've
row was
sprinted that
terrible.
first one.
Yeah. So yeah, to get off that row and then do another wall walks, if you've got to lie on the floor before you do your first wall walk because you're knackered, like, well, what was the point in pulling 15, 1600 on the row? You might, this is always my thing. I might as well just be like, I'll push, but I'll be comfortable because I don't want to waste any time between in the transition. I'll often like even today I was doing a workout where we had to do 20 cal row, 20 hand release push-ups, and 20 wall balls. So as I was literally like pulling like 900 cals an hour on the row, so nothing
Hmm.
crazy at all. And once I finished the row, I just turned and just flipped onto my front off the side of the row and then just done the hand release push-ups. And then I stood up and picked the wall ball up. So whilst I might not be going as fast as everybody, that I don't waste any time in between.
Can
Oh,
you
that's
remember
that.
when you
Sorry.
first started to think about it like that? Because that's quite some content and thoughts to manage, isn't it? Was that
Mm,
after you did your first competition, you think, or were you thinking about it going into a competition? Like, how do I manage these things? Or did you see someone that triggered you to think, oh, they do it that way? That seems
mm.
like it makes sense.
That's a good question. I think there's always just the commentary in class about people going out too hot.
Mm.
And I know M will say, like, as a coach, like, if you got like 50 wall balls to do, like, you're probably not going to feel that much better having like a 30-second break than you would be having a 5-second break. So
Hmm.
it's not going to feel that much different. So you want to just
Hmm. Yeah.
pick it up before you want
Yeah.
to. But yeah, it's really like just watching and learning about how other people do it. So you might see someone who's scattered their stuff all around the gym and they've got to walk from one place to another, but that can be their rest time. So it's like managing those things. Like if it takes me 5 seconds to walk from here to there, and as soon as I get there I pick the thing up, I will be able to manage that a lot better than if the thing's right next to me and I'm like, oh, I need a bit of a break. How long has that been? Oh God, what was it, 10 seconds? Okay, I'll count myself down, and then I'll be on it and I'll go 3, 2, 1. Okay, right. Then I'll go. So it's just trying to create those mechanisms that allow you to reduce the amount of rest and manage the amount of rest you're taking. It's so important with that kind of workout, those kind of rest management tactics.
There's a lot of little marginal gains you can scoop up there if you take a bit of time to think about what's
Mm,
going on. Little
yeah,
sneaky wins.
yeah, and things like, well, if you've got a set of 25 something to do, um, and you know that actually you could probably do that in two sets, like a 13 and a 12. If you were fresh, you do it in a 13 and a 12. Well, if you do a 13 and then you rest for 2 minutes and then you do another 12, you're not going to be going any quicker than the guy who's just doing singles
Yeah. Hmm.
and feels great
Hmm.
and hasn't blown their grip out and hasn't blown their back out and hasn't spiked their heart rate. So just trying to understand those things in terms of just because you can do 20 of them off the bat doesn't mean that you should. But then there's also the thing of actually you can push yourself a little bit. So like today,
Yeah.
the 20 wall balls, like I can do 20 wall balls. Can I do them 20 wall balls every 3 minutes for 20 minutes with the other stuff in between? Well, let me find out.
Yeah. Because I guess you have to go to the edge at some point. Otherwise, you can't work out what's a comfortable push or not, because that can't actually feel comfortable, can it? Like if it feels comfortable, then it's got to be too slow.
Yeah.
But you need to know where you are. And I think I'm quite all right with it when I sprint, because if I sprint on anything with a rower, I know what the sprint limit is between
Mm.
like the last five. So that last like 10% to the last 5%. I can hold it in the 10%. But if I go into the five, that's it. I'm finished, immediately finished.
Yeah.
So my preference is a bit back to front to yours. Like I would much rather know I've got 2 minutes to go all out and then I'll rest one and I'll just go again as hard as
Mm.
I can
Mm.
on this 10% limit. But I hate this like longer running thing, like 40 minutes and have to
Yeah.
manage all that time.
But
Yeah,
that's
it's not.
and that approach you're talking about is okay because you've got that rest is managed for you. That's the whole thing about
Yeah,
the intervals is like 2 minutes on, 1 minute off. There's no 2 minutes on. I think this is 1 minute, but maybe I'll drag it out
yeah,
to 90 seconds. Like
yeah.
that's managing the rest, isn't it? So
Hmm.
actually you're then not having to manage that rest. You're having to manage your effort to then make that after that minute, am I going to be able to deliver that same effort level again? Like
Hmm.
what's the RPE I'm aiming for? Is it a 10 or is it an 8 or a 9 or whatever you want it to be? But there's nothing worse than intervals and you blow your wad in
Well, if you hit a
round
10, you're
one.
done on. If you
Yeah.
hit a 10 in round one, that's it. I mean, it's not it, is it? But that's the worst
Yeah.
10 minutes of your life, the next 10. I did that the first time I went through that rowing program. I was like, forget it, man. I had to do 14 times 100 interval or something like that. I
Hmm.
got to five. I couldn't even get on the rower. They're like, good, good. I couldn't get my feet in and my
Yeah.
straps, couldn't dry my hands.
And
Brilliant, man.
it's the same principle with progressive overload. If you start that too heavy, then the rest of those 6 weeks is going to be a nightmare.
Well, you just can't do it, can you? You just
No.
run immediately into trash, don't you? So that's the nice thing about 5-3-1 that we talked about before. This sort of start light, progress slow, but it takes years to
Mm.
work out that that's actually all right. It's insane. Which brings us neatly on to the progression. And did you do something different with respect to training? Because if someone wants to improve their result there, and I think this can apply to anything basically, can't it? Was there magic ingredient, secret hack for
Hmm.
making this progress? You,
Last year to this year, the only thing that I've done differently is I am lighter and I've spent hours, if not probably actual calendar weeks of my life doing zone two cardio.
Is it actually zone two? What is your zone two?
Yeah. What do you mean? What is it? Do you mean heart rate or?
Yeah, heart rate.
Yeah, it is endurance. Yeah. So when it comes up on my Cardiomood, which if you want to look into Cardiomood, link will be in the description below. When I do those sessions, that is endurance rather than performance. Let me just see if I can find one and tell you a bit more about it.
Just be interested in the heart rate. No, but then the heart rate number is personal anyway, isn't it?
Hmm. Yeah,
What's your max heart rate? Do you know?
I mean, I've gone more than what the doctors would tell you.
But what is that? They don't need to know.
Oh, I've been in the 200s for sure. Like,
Jesus, dude.
yeah, in but it depends on the workout. Not on a zone two run, but
Oh,
that,
I mean, that's high, man. Yeah.
yeah,
Mine
not like
used to go
sustaining
half
200, but yeah, because it should be, what is it? It's like 220 minus your age, right?
Yeah.
So mine should be around 180 something,
Yeah.
or maybe less, 170, 179 now.
Well, yeah, but
Um,
they're off though, aren't they? I think if you're fit, because the whole purpose of training is to increase that capacity, isn't
yeah,
it, to do work? No?
I
So
mean, skimming back through headlines, I've got some heart rates here, like max heart rate 108, 120, 143. There was a 190 in here somewhere, 174, so 181. Yeah,
maxes. Okay.
there's maxes. But yeah,
Okay,
there's
that gives an idea. And then the zone two, then you think is what sort of ballpark?
average pulse rate 126 was just on a random one I picked out.
Okay. Because I find mine, as soon as I touch anything which isn't a weight, immediately goes to like 140, 150, 160. So I'm immediately in like ballpark of zone three. So everything is a bit of like a lactate push for me and
Yeah,
struggle to stay in a zone two. Like if I go for a run and try and get it in zone two, I have to walk.
yeah. I'd say, I mean, I've done a lot, so, and this is just kind of anecdotal, but I'd say 120 to 150 in there somewhere. But because of that, I do it in like an interval style. I take a little rest and then I
Mm,
go back in, then take a little rest and go back in. So I'm not just constantly go on it.
mhm. That's quite a big spread though, isn't it? 120 to 150. Like the difference in
Mm,
effort level between a 120 and a 150 is pretty big. But you
and
think
it,
that's what's built the new base, do you?
yeah, I would say so. I would say that because my cardio is better, I say that just helps everything else. But and the fact that there wasn't, apart from the middle workout, which was a repeat, which had some heavy thrusters in that just knackered me. The thrusters I hate anyway, and the barbell just
Mm,
felt like it was glued to the floor. I was doing like single thrusters with 50 something kilos. It was just horrible. So
God.
had I had a bit more strength rather than cardio, that would have been super helpful. But
Mm.
would it's all a balance, isn't it?
Is that something you would shift in terms of balance now?
I'd like to get stronger.
Yeah, everyone wants to be stronger. Well, I'm
Exactly.
primed now for getting stronger. I'm going to have
Yeah.
to do the ultimate comeback that we've ever seen. So I can join you on that one. So, strength,
Yes.
everybody's favorite subject. What happened there then? So you say you're not as strong as you were. It sounds like you are now a cardio machine. What's going on with the
Yeah.
strength side of the game?
I think generally I felt like I was bashing my head up against a brick wall when it came to strength because I wasn't doing the right things to get stronger. And I never really have figured out how to do that, but I probably haven't spent the right amount of time and the right amount of energy figuring out how to do that. So I injured myself a few times, had some back issues over the last couple of years from squatting, deadlifting, and I always felt like when I was trying to get stronger and push through, I was kind of grinding myself out a bit. And when I got injured, I really just tried to focus on form and not using belts and knee sleeves and things for any strength sessions. So there's a bit of a hard pill to try and swallow that, you know, I'm now not squatting as much as I could do when I was like fully thick leather belt, doubling up on knee sleeve lifters and really cranking out some low bar back squats. And now I'm just rocking up in a pair of Metcons and doing some nice high bar, lovely form, but a lot lighter weights. Uh, so yeah, I haven't put the energy or effort into trying to get stronger again. I'd like to be stronger. I think it's definitely never something that is going to be a hindrance. Um, but I'm not there. I'm not there yet.
Yeah, I think there's a volume topic there, isn't there, with the amount of training that you do in order, and especially the type of training that you're doing, and your focus recently has been on sort of losing some weight and improving gymnastic movement and cardio and so on. This is all at odds with getting stronger, isn't it? Because to get
Mm,
stronger, you have to be in a calorie surplus for sure,
mm,
because you need to build some extra tissue. If you build some extra tissue, then you're going to get heavier. This is going to make all your other stuff to go down. So it probably needs a season, doesn't it? Of like, okay, I'm fit enough now, and you know how to be fit and get lean again.
yeah.
So just put that on the back burner, like you've managed to be able to put the strength on the back burner for a little while and get comfortable with like, okay, I'm not super strong, but I've seen these results. So there's obviously also that's not a really negative trade-off between losing some strength and building that endurance engine, is it? That's really
Mm,
paid off pretty
mm,
significantly. So it looks like you can probably park that for a little while. And you don't have to park it completely, do you? You just have to get that to a maintenance level, which lets you do enough volume on strength and probably is a bit less training, put a bit of weight back on, see where you get to there and have some sort of benchmark workout and that you can test your fitness with and just make sure that doesn't drop off too much. Build to whatever you think, okay, that would be a nice goal. Because what would be a nice strength benchmark to get to, do you think? Is there anything where you think, okay, I'd like to be able to do X? It's difficult, isn't it? Because there's a lot of stuff there where there's technique as well. Like if you said X snatch,
mm.
that's not just about being strong, is it? That's
No.
about being like technically proficient, which is complicated.
Yeah, I couldn't put a number on a lot of it. Like I know I've lost strength in some areas, and I'd, when I was trying to do extra strength sessions, because I was trying to do this once I lost the weight, I was then okay. I'm going to add the volume in. So let me do a bench session a week. Let me do a squat session a week, and let me do an overhead press session a week on as well. Like sprinkle that in because I wanted to get the volume in. I just didn't really enjoy it either. Like I was doing it, I was like, oh, this is horrible. So
Well, you've added volume on top of volume, though, haven't you, as well? That's
yeah,
the problem. Yeah,
yeah,
so you've just like stacked another training load on top of your other training loads. Then you need even more rest, probably even more food, which probably didn't get adjusted to
no,
suit it. No,
no,
so then it doesn't work, does it? It's like going the other way instead.
yeah, yeah. So I haven't figured that out. So that's where we're
I
at with
reckon
that.
we can figure that out. I reckon because I'm going to need to figure something out now for sure. So I'm now knocking on the door of 73 kilos.
You would have known. You could
Because
have saved a lot of time with your
mate,
getting lean challenge just by smashing yourself off the floor with a bike, couldn't you? That was what's that
unreal,
like 4 kg in a week, 2 weeks?
unreal. Well, I was 77, no, 76 point something. So it's only a couple of kilos, but the difference already is insane. It's just so crazy. I would think I was touch and go, best shape, best shape I've been in at least for 10 years,
Yeah.
probably, and in 2 months, and then just undone it in a week. So I've taken pictures of like when, like literally, I've got one the day it happened, and I've
Mm.
got one the day, I think the day after I got out of the hospital, I went to the gym. So I've got a picture of that day. I'll probably try and get there tomorrow to do something, although I can't really do much now because it's like both arms and leg. But I can do bits and pieces of stuff. So I'll try and get another snap. But my weight started to go back up again now because I've really got to go all out on eating. It's
Mm.
crazy
Mm.
because I was on only on like 1500 calorie when I was doing this sort of fat loss thing. And my body's got used to being down there. And now to only put half a kilo on a week, 2,500 calories without including any exercise in.
Yeah.
It's like a monster amount of food for me to try and eat now. So went to the old DM over the road and bought a bunch of peanut. They've got like peanut protein cups, and they're basically just Snickers bars that are pretending to be protein bars and
Yeah.
stuff. So brownies, and stuffed all them in. They're like 400 calories a throw. So getting those bad boys in.
Well, I
Yeah.
last week because I went to Wales and did Snowdon and some other bits and pieces, and just basically that was my all-inclusive holiday. I
Mm.
just I think I was about 2,500 calorie surplus on the
Mhm.
week because I just smashed it. So now I'm paying that back. The old bank balance needs to be paid back. So this week I'll sharpen that up a bit. Not aiming for any particular number in terms of the deficit, but I'd like to just look like get the condition back quite quickly, which won't take long. But it's just a little side story for you that yeah, just went away, had a nice time, ate everything, drank everything, came back, and now I've got to pay the piper.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's right to do that. Well, you can't say it's all right or not all right, can you? But you need to do that little reload. Sometimes when you get that monkey off your back, it's like the kettle chips, which I haven't relapsed again, by the way, Linda.
Linda will be
So
pleased.
hanging in there with you on that one. No more kettle chips since that fateful day. But what I did do yesterday was I popped by the office just to sort some stuff out, paperwork and stuff out. And it's a pain for me to cook at the moment, but I did cook last week and cook like days worth of stuff because it's a pain for me to wash up because I can't get these wet.
Ah,
So I bought a burger from the burger truck, which is like my favorite truck, with some fries. So, and I was thinking, well, honestly thinking, oh, I need to get some calories in because like I'm going to disappear otherwise, like 73 kilos. What am I going to do? So I ate this burger, man. It was like someone knocked me out. I got back here, sat on the bed, and I didn't move for 2.5 hours. Absolutely ruined me.
yeah,
Completely knocked me. Absolutely knocked me out straight. Unreal,
carb
man.
coma.
Good burger, but Jesus Christ. Because I haven't had anything bad for months. Like since the kettle chip relapse, been
Yeah.
all good.
I would like to know from Linda because she will watch this. She's one of our regular viewers and listeners. Hi, Linda. I don't know if she's gone back to the crisps, you know. I think that
Linda, I was
I want
doing
to
it for
know.
you.
I want to know in the comments, Linda,
Man,
are
I
you
don't
back on
believe
the
it.
crisps or are you still off the crisps? Let us know.
No, no, no. Off the crisps. That's what I need to be with that. Off the crisps. Um, let's just 180 back to training because that's why everybody's here.
That's
So,
why we're here, that's for sure.
cardio, yeah, that's why we're here. Cardio's gone up, strength's gone down. Is there a magic pill in there? What's the answer to the performance improvement? I know what it is.
Go on then. Hit me. Help
Well,
me
I think
out.
just like you're just hammering every day, at least once a day,
Yeah.
just putting in the work over time, just like
Yeah.
consider it for years as well, isn't it? It's just
Do you
like
know,
years and
do you know
years
what?
of
Because
work.
that answer didn't pop in my head. That's just because it's just what I do. Like I don't ever think of
Mm,
it's because I'm showing up every single day to do something. If I don't train twice a day, you're right, I train once. Yeah, there's not a day that I don't do some sort of physical exercise. Sometimes I feel bad, like, am I making the right decision by spending this hour of my life doing this thing? And I'm like, well, I enjoy it. And so, yeah, I'm not, not letting anything suffer as a result of it. There's nobody's getting harmed from me doing it. It's just my time. I'm choosing to spend my time doing the extra stuff. And I was having this thought the other day is that say I burn 700 to 800 calories on the ski, like doing a cardio session in the evening, then I then eat that food in like protein yogurts and all sorts of like Greek yogurt with protein powder and fruit and all that kind of stuff. So I'm eating it back. So then I thought to myself, well, why don't I just not do that? And then I could spend that hour doing something else. So I was like, what's the point in that? And then actually I was like, well, the point is you're getting fitter. Like it's not just a calories out, calories in thing. Like every single
mhm,
time I do an hour's worth of cardio, my cardiovascular health improves.
mhm.
So I just completely lost sight of that. I'm like, well, I'm only
Yeah,
burning these so I can eat them later. It's like, no,
yeah, yeah,
you're actually
yeah.
improving like your cardio fitness every single time. So that I think has definitely helped just overall performance in workouts. As in, it's quicker for me to recover from stuff because My body's used to the frequency of training. I don't go all out heavy when we do strength stuff. I do proper reps, and
Hmm.
I kind of fly under the radar of I'm not going to bust my butt trying to like grind out these reps and absolutely have it feel horrendous. I'll be like, this feels a challenge, but manageable, and I know I'm doing it right. So that it's kind of that like helps me live to fight another day mentality. I'm not ever in a position where I've just ground myself out from training, so I can
Yeah.
just
I
keep
think
coming
that's
back.
also probably the interesting thing about the strength training, why the strength stuff maybe doesn't go up. One, there's the total volume topic. Two, if there is a tendency for it to be like sporadic training with respect to strength, and then
Mm,
when you're doing this sporadic training with respect to strength, the focus is on maximum strength. Actually, you can build strength with the same type of approach that you built the endurance
yeah,
with a volume approach and like a regular volume approach and some solid blocks of volume, and you
yeah,
can build strength that way as well. So it's interesting.
yeah. I don't know how
Yeah. So
possible it is to do that alongside programming that isn't within your control. Like if I want to go to every CrossFit class,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, you can't. I don't think.
then it's very difficult then to do the strength stuff. I did do it when I originally started because I was doing 5-3-1, and I would pick
Mm,
and choose the classes that I went to based around the 5-3-1 training that I was doing.
hmm
So that was the priority, was having
hmm
that strength there. Um, but it's a lot of work, you see the program, got to try and fit it in,
Yeah.
you got to work around it, do something different. And I think ease came into play. It's like, well, actually, I'll do the CrossFit classes, and then that's just kind of took over.
Yeah, it's tricky because you've got to probably put, I mean, it's not even probably, you have to put the same commitment into getting stronger as you have put into improving your endurance. And the endurance one, I think you're also right, is that when you jump on that thing for an hour, pretty much guaranteed that that cardio base is going up.
Mm,
If you go in the garage and do some strength training for an hour, I think it's a little bit more fussy there with respect to window of adaptation.
hmm
What are you doing in terms of reps? Is it even the right type of strength maybe for what you're doing? How much work do you have to do with respect to technique if you're talking about snatch? So there's probably a lot more focus that needs to go into that, isn't there? Maybe we have a little think about that. See what we can pull out of the magic training almanacs,
Yeah.
work something
If I
out.
could choose one lift that to get stronger at, if you gave me just the magic pill and said, right, this is you get one thing, I would go front squat.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say as well. It's the one I hate the most as well. I can't even get in the right position to do.
My
I
front
really
squat
want
is
it to smash
terrible,
me. Yeah,
terrible,
so is mine.
but it's
Well, I
just
think that all
transfers
those,
over.
yeah, and all those years of doing like low bar back squat, it's like the complete opposite to obviously high bar front squat. It's like we have no quads. Like I'm all hamstring and butt and no
Mm,
quads.
mm.
So, yeah, I've been trying to build it up, but that's also one you just build it over time, don't you? And maybe it's that. Maybe drop those in there. Maybe, yeah, maybe it's that. Maybe take out those cardio, 3 of those hour cardio sessions a week and drop in 2 front squat sessions a week or something
Well,
instead.
this is the thing with some of my training around the cardio, and I like to splice in other things. I've dropped off a little bit recently, which has reminded me I need to put them back in. Is that I'll in between the minutes on the ski erg, I'll do like a lot of volume with shoulders. So like 10 overhead press reps with the 15-kilo dumbbells in between everything gets a lot of volume in the shoulders. So I could
Mm,
always change that out for, okay, well, let me do five, but heavier, and
mm,
do that once a week. Or with the lunges, I started doing the split squat lunges in between.
mm,
So, okay, well, I could swap that out and do some front squats. Like the cardio of the ski erg isn't going to really impact me being able to do front squats and build that up soon. Something to think about. I'm
Well,
not going to commit to anything because,
I was thinking you almost need to flip it though, don't you? Where at the moment the focus is on the cardio with
yeah,
weights assistant. You need to do focus on the weights with cardio assistant. So you're just
mm,
jumping on the ski just to keep warm in between the front squat sets. Then it makes me think, do you even need to do that at all? And literally, if you want to get stronger, just focus on getting stronger. Well,
Yeah.
maybe it's worth a little blind test there. So yeah, I think it's that, dude, for me, from what I've seen. And also when you were training with the strength stuff as well, you were just like banging out the sessions, just like, although banging out the sessions with some crazy intensity,
Mm.
like way back in the day. But yeah, just like banging out the sessions every time. Because I remember putting numbers in a group with like Leon and Lee and so on.
Hmm.
And I think your numbers were like the lowest in the group, and everyone else was a bit on and off with sessions, and you were just like
Yeah.
and it was like the highest in the group in the end, weren't they? So can't beat a bit of consistency, man. That is the answer for me, I would say.
Cool.
So where are we? That feels like that was the summary. The power of consistency.
Yeah. I think
It's got you where you are.
there's a few things in there. It's really understanding what you're doing in terms of approaching a workout and how you manage yourself. You manage your state in it. Like what are you trying to achieve in that? I often think, well, if there's a workout, like what do I want my goal to be? So it might be a case of, okay, I want to do every set of this unbroken, but I can break this and break that. Or, that those kind of things I think about, like where's my little win in terms of this workout, because I might not be able to finish it or I might not be able to go as heavy, but there'll be something in there that I'll work on or work towards and try building up. And yeah, and then there's, you know, if you're working out on your own, then it's very different to working out in a class. It's hard to kind of gauge where your effort levels are. And
Training buddy.
yeah, you can get on the training buddy videos and train with me.
Don't need to
Um,
train on your own.
yeah, you don't need to. You don't need to listen to me talking about training and watch me train. So yeah, so there's kind of the mindset. There's the what do you actually want to get from the workout, not kind of what is programmed, but what do you want to achieve and where's your sense of achievement in that? Because that can help you keep turning up if you keep hitting those little goals, stacking them
Mm.
up. And yeah, just being consistent with it. That's, I think, like I say, that's just stacking them on session after session after session. They're not always going to be good, but if you always turn up for them, then it's going to be better than not turning up for them or being really inconsistent. There's quite a lot of people who come in and out of the gym that can just never make any progress because they're off and on
Well,
again.
yeah, it points a little bit back towards like start where you are and do what you can do, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Wherever you are, whether you're injured or not, which is what we were talking about the other week. Like, if I wasn't injured now, I'm still going to go to the gym. I'm still where I am. I'm still going to do what I can do. Now I have to completely rethink that,
Mm.
go back to the beginning and just start where I am, do what I can do, and be consistent again. So, yeah, the on and off thing, and like, oh, I'm not going to do this today, or I can't do it, or what. So, well, for sure, you're not going to be able to do it if you don't actually go and do it.
Yeah,
Like, that's what's
I
going to get you there.
had a little Wayne Gretzky quote came up on my phone this morning, and it said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." So that's kind of resonates with
Good one,
me.
yeah.
You don't turn up for
Yeah,
it, you can't do it. Yeah.
it's 100%. Good, dude. I like that little chat. It was a nice
Mm.
one.
It was good. It felt good. So we're going to close this one out, episode 7. Uh, Still, we're going to check the comments for Linda's crisp update. That'd be really good.
Yeah.
If you did the CrossFit Open, and let us know how you got on. I'm going to be posting my workout training buddy videos. You can check out what I've been talking about, little companion videos alongside this one. You can see you can see me trying to pace and you can see me getting crushed by a 50 kilo thruster in a whole world of pain. And I talk through the workouts and like talking about now, like what my approach was and what I was thinking and what the standards are. So if you're looking to get into CrossFit and you don't really know where to start, that'd be a good place to have a little look. And yeah, but thank you ever so much to everybody who's joined us. If you think this would be helpful for somebody that you know, please do share it. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe. If you're listening to us on Spotify, hello, because we're there. We're on all those
We're
things.
everywhere.
We are everywhere. But yeah, cool. Cheers for that, dude. Thanks for the interview.
No worries. You feel validated.
I do. I feel
It's
tired.
good.
I feel tired
Enjoy
talking
listening
about all
to
the
it.
training.
Very interesting. I want more strategy talk. That's what we need on here. More tactics and more strategy.
Yeah.
Less of this.
Yeah, less smashing yourself up. So yeah, next time maybe we'll have a an update on the injuries and anything that anybody wants us to talk about. You can always get in touch, drop us a comment. We like to know what you want us to discuss, and we'll take it or leave it. If it's not something we want to talk about, we won't. But it's
Yeah.
always nice to
Anyway.
have suggestions. So yeah, thanks everybody, and I'm gonna ask Matt what he's gonna say to close this one out.
Ciao.
See ya.